Hey guys, and thanks for joining me for yet another video. In this presentation, we're going to take a look at how to make breaded pork chops in the oven. Now, this is a pretty easy recipe. After the fact that we get the pork chops well seasoned, we're just going to bread it, stick it in the oven, and pretty much forget about it until that timer goes off. So, let's get into this video, y'all. Hey y'all, and thanks for joining me for yet another video. In this presentation here, I have some seasoned pork chops. To season this, after I rinsed it off and cleaned off the fat, what I did was I added a bit of green seasoning, a teaspoon of green seasoning, a teaspoon of chicken base seasoning, half a teaspoon of minced garlic and ginger, and a bit of parsley flakes, a teaspoon of that. So in here, I believe I have about 5 pork chops, so that would be the quantity. So if you just needed to know for reference how many, there's 6, sorry, 6 pork chops. So what we do, I take each one individually and I place it on a cutting board, and I go in with some Italian breadcrumbs, and I literally just cover it. So I shred it on there until it's fully covered. So I generously put enough on each side, so I just keep pouring like this until this side, and I just pat it in because it has seasoning, so it will take in the breadcrumbs. So I just like to pat it in just to reinforce the breadcrumb into the meat, and then I flip it to the other side and I do the same. So I'll be repeating this process on this other side of the pork chop and for each and every pork chop that I have, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Guys, so I had just covered my pork chops in breadcrumbs, and this is what they look like. So what I did was I took a cookie sheet and I covered it in foil because you guys know I love an easy cleanup. And just in case there's any sticking, you know, we don't want it to happen on the actual dish. Yeah, so we add just a little bit of parsley flakes to highlight, you know, on the pork chop. As you can see, there's, you know, just a little bit. So when that bakes through, it'll show. As well as I go in with a bit of cooking spray on the top, and I just hit each piece with a little bit, just to seal in all the breadcrumbs as well as the parsley flakes, as well as when I place the lid on top, which I'm going to place some foil. Yeah, I had to spray it prior to placing the foil on it because we're going to seal this completely off. So we're just going to bend our foil down on our tray as such, and then we're going to have our oven preheated to 375 degrees, and we're going to place this in there and check it at the 40-minute mark. So we're going to set a timer for 40 minutes and we're going to come back and see exactly. Hey guys, so I just took this the pork chops out of the oven after 45 minutes of baking, and this is what we have. We've got a nice little golden consistency on the edge here. This is pretty much cooked. I don't even really have to check it, but I know because after 45 minutes it's definitely cooked. But we got a nice golden consistency. Since they're ready to go, I'm just gonna take them out of this tray and place them in a dish. So here we have our pork chops, guys. It's fully cooked, ready to be served. Our breaded pork chops, and yeah, that's it. As you can see, the underside got cooked really nicely as well. There's no burning or any sticking or anything. And this is the whole idea of using the foil paper, because now all you have to do, you won't have to worry too much about your tray being burnt, and you just pull up your paper and you can throw that in the garbage and move on.